Hello, hello, wonderful piano enthusiast. Jim here, Grassroots Piano. We are at lesson 7 and I'm archiving lessons out of this series. I don't know if you can see it. This is the Alfred book, Basic Adult Piano Course, Level 1. And because I wrote a book, I love looking at other method books and seeing how things are done in a method way, curriculum design, all that geeky stuff that us teachers like. Page 26 is where we're going to start, and we are going to start with the left hand, and they're super nice. Alfred's still saying, you know what, we care about you. We're going to once again put the pitch names and the note heads. Don't get used to them. I know, I've taught, and I know some are going to write some stuff in. If you do, write in pencil, then erase it. Believe in yourself, you can do this. So we're here now, early January, and remember, improvements measured in small increments. So join me and let's, you can do some listening or play with me or whatnot. So this is my middle C for reference. And I'm starting with the left hand. So we got our C, E, G, half note, 2 counts, and then a little extension action. The A, back to here. And repeat, and 4 and 4 and. If you've been liking these series, let me know by hitting the like button. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead. I have some learners that have some issues with their hands, arthritis and whatnot. So you can just work on that second bar, C, 5A, bring your hand, stretch that out a little bit, nice and slow. And then also don't forget to take a look. Alfred does a really good job with different photos and examples of diagrams. So that A, they're showing you where it is on the staff. At the very top, you can see that. Right up there is where I'm pointing. All right, now it's C chord in the left hand, and we have the note names again in the 5, 3, 1. So you want to be able to say the notes from bottom to top, like that. And then the F chord. See what I did there? We got 5, 2, and then the 1 brings this over. This is worth knowing because you're going to be playing these chords a lot. All right, it's not in the music here, but sometimes I have students just jam on that for a little bit, play it a few times. And another tip is if your hands get tired from playing blocked, you can also play it broken. And I'm just going faster to move along with the lesson. And then they have at the bottom, like the previous lesson, 3, 4, and they have the arrows in the music so I can show you where the notes are going. And then that repeats. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to page 27, When the Saints Go Marching In. Left hand, we got mezzo forte. And then that second measure you might have a hard time with because we're playing a G7. So let's take a look at that. Our notes are 5, finger, B, and then the 2 on the F, and then the G. And then the third measure is the C chord. And then the 4 chord. And now back to 1. And it's a whole note, but I was jamming. All right, so practice that, go through it slowly. It's okay if that's really tricky for you. If you think, oh wait, that G7 chord is tricky, how do I do that? Just break it down. Okay, bottom, B, and then F, and then G. And then I'm just gonna take a look. This is very normal to do in book land, especially music books. You can go back to page 27, they talk about the G7. And they also talk about it in page 20, the G7. That is really important to go back and just get a refresher. Trust me, you're not doing anything wrong. I could use a refresher every other day, at least. All right, so page 27, it's When the Saints Go Marching In. And musicians are going to count it off like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Because it's an incomplete measure. We start on beat 2. So that's an incomplete measure. You can see in the book where they talk about it. And then if you go all the way down to the bottom, you have the double dots there, which means repeat. And if you don't see them again, you go back to the beginning. But in this case, also, you notice that last bar only has one beat in it. Because it's a little music rule here, we borrowed a beat, and so the incomplete measure, the melody acts as a pickup. So this is an incomplete measure as it says there. This is tricky for new learners, so a lot of musicians will say, or music teachers will say, hang with it, starts on beat 2. We borrowed a beat to make it the end. It's just kind of like a musical composition cut and paste. There's also pickup notes, but as we go through things, you'll understand it. You just have to keep going. The other thing I want to bring up is we speak counts, we speak numbers for fingers. There's a lot going on. So if you look at the right hand, it's a 1, 3, 4, 5. Just as a kind reminder, those are fingerings, okay? The beats are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then it repeats. And you can definitely go a lot slower. You can because you'll digest it, and the next day you can go a little bit faster if you choose. I'm not repeating just to save time. All right, so we're gonna go to page 28 and 29, and I'm very proud of myself right now because I remember to turn the page over here. We'll make it work, right? Yeah, I do have a weight I could put down. I think we'll survive. All right. So for this one, they did us a favor, and this happens a lot in music, and it's really good learning. It's kind of congruent. We did some left hand study, and now it's right hand study. Same idea. 4, 4, 4. And then I'm not really explaining stuff, I'm just jamming, but this is a very important skill. Look at that second measure right in there. We have that C, 3 finger on the F, and that 5 pivots over, okay? Because we're used to C position. And yes, we do that for a very long time for many reasons. So now it's kind of growing pains. So now we're here, okay? It's good to go ahead and stretch out. Very good. In fact, I do this a lot. If you've seen my video on movement and stretching and dealing with stuff, it's a good thing. Then we have the same idea, but it's the right hand, the chord, and then we have the chord, the F chord. So we've gotten 3 chords down already on page 28. A C, a G7, and an F. And then the very bottom, they show you the arrows. And this time they didn't put the note names in, so make sure you can name them from bottom to top. And yes, why do we have those big letters above the measures? Because those are the chords. That's what you need to know when you play lead sheets. And you know when a lot of people say, oh, you don't need to read music, you can just look at lead sheets. It's time for another video, but I need to vent. Getting this down will make lead sheets so much easier. Why not spend a few extra months to learn correctly? I don't know, it baffles me. That's all I'm gonna say, because all right, so page 29, here we go. Quarter notes. Aim for a good sound. Unlike that. I'm thinking as I teach. And 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's say you're trying to do that and you just can't get through the exercise. Break it down, not a big deal. I guarantee you it's the second measure, B, F, G, okay? Now play them together. I'm a beginner now, so now I'm gonna do this. All right, you're pressing from here. Think more arm weight, and also play it broken. It doesn't happen overnight, but if you're patient, things will happen. So here, all right, remember these 2 little digits, they get little kind of grumpy, so you just gotta give them TLC. So I love this version because now the melody's in the left hand. It's kind of like the tuba players playing it. So that's really good. And I just want to move my computer so it doesn't fall asleep, because who knows what's going to happen with the cameras. All right, so same, everything's the same except it's flip-flopped. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yes, definitely play through it twice. I was thinking when I was doing this, some of the students will have a tricky time when we get to the first G7. The table's a little too far away for me to point, but now that we're becoming music readers, okay, cue the clapping. The first G7 where we have in the right hand. I was thinking about this earlier. There was a student when I was teaching her, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. They would look at their hands for a little bit and glance up. It's not a huge deal. Be aware if you do look down, you might get lost where you are, but this is a new coordination. And depending on your body type and all that, I find if I always keep this aligned, but if I just kind of work from here, it's easy to do. If that doesn't make sense, some might do right on the G7, 1, 2, 3, they might look at their hand for a little bit, just to make, because that's a very new hand position for beginners, and I'm glad to talk about that because I haven't seen people talk about that on YouTube. But then again, I don't have 80 hours a day to watch every single YouTube video. All right, so your homework is to review, but if depending where you're at, feel free to go into page 30 because it's G position. All right, we're moving on up. Take care, bye-bye.